gaming doesn't really feel cool anymore. And let's just say as far back as the PS2 era, the sixth gen era of consoles, there were many cool games, and there used to be a place of where you could escape your life and put your get into the shoes of the character you're playing in a video game. And I feel like these days it just doesn't have that effect anymore. I feel like because of lazy game design and lazy developers whose games are only based off of name and brand alone is what really gaming is getting past or getting by these days. And it doesn't really feel cool to be a gamer anymore. I don't know if that's just my opinion, but these days I felt like distancing myself as far away from gaming as possible. But of course, I can't really do that because I don't really have that much of a eventful life. And I can say back in the days of like of the PS2 era, games were cool, but more cooler than the games themselves was the people who played them. Like, believe you me, if you're a person who like you would say you would play a game as if it's a badge of honor. Like, if you played God of War on the PS2, you were cool. If you played Dragon Ball Z, whether it was Budokai 1 or Budokai Tenkaichi, you were cool and you looked cool playing it. If you were someone who played Need for Speed Underground or Need for Speed Underground 2, you were cool. If you played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the PS2, you were cool. And I can say yes, PC gaming, and it's like PC gaming never really took off. It's just always been there. Because console gaming has always been where it's at, to be honest, and especially in my opinion. PC has always been way too expensive and way too much dedication towards just playing video games. But I mean, of course, there's lots of things you can do on PC, and PC gamers are pretty dedicated. But like, let me just get back to the point. It's just, even with video games now, it's like video games don't have character, they don't have a soul. You don't really feel compelled towards the character. And on the basis of, like, as I said before, there's no trilogies, there's no sequels to video games. They just make a once-off video game, make some weird character who has no backstory whatsoever, and then they call that a video game. Because I mean, for a lot of the games that we've been playing for years, even like a game like Final Fantasy, you have all of the characters who've been there for the longest, and people know who the characters are and they like the story. But I mean, I really don't know where gaming is going, because I haven't like gaming is not giving people a chance to get to know the characters. For example, look at Ghost of Tsushima. There is no sequel, and I haven't played the game, but I've heard so many good things about it. Maybe I'll make a video about it, but I'm not sure. But it's like, there needs to be sequels to video games in order for us to actually garner a relationship. You cannot just continue making once-off games. Show some dedication. Like, for example, I remember one of my fellow content creator friends was telling me that Alan Wake is getting a sequel. Why did it take so long for there to be a sequel? And it's crazy to me that game developers are not trying to gain relationships with their fan bases. They are just creating cash grab video games. And that's pretty much one of the biggest issues I'm having with, is you don't feel emotionally invested in the character you're playing. It's just to keep your hands busy. The best example of this is, like, even with Grand Theft Auto, like, let's just say, for example, the latest Modern Warfare video game, as opposed, because I own two Modern Warfare video games on PS3, Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, and I played, let me just say I played the first Modern Warfare on PC, and it was amazing. I felt emotionally invested into the characters. Even when the characters started getting killed in the first game, I was saddened by that. And then Modern Warfare 2, I played Modern Warfare 2, and I was amazed. There was Ghost, there was Soap, there was Captain Price, there were so many other characters. And then when Ghost got killed, I was caught off guard, and I was so emotionally invested in the game. I was actually sad, and then they started burning the bodies. And then you look at the Modern Warfare reboot, and you look at Ghost. Look at his mask. What is this abomination? Here's a side-by-side comparison of Ghost's mask in 2009 and Ghost's mask in 2022. How can you sit back and then call this cool? Or even Black Ops 2, but this is a clear comparison at where gaming is at. I like how no one pretends. I like how everyone pretends that his mask looks. I don't know. I can't believe that people actually thought this was a good idea. His mask looks horrible, but there is a meme going around of that stare, of that glare, or whatever it is, of where he's looking sideways, and I've been laughing about it on Twitter. But the point is that gaming just doesn't feel cool anymore, and it's because the characters are bland, the storylines are bland. They make once-off games and are not trying to go on a relationship with their fan base, which makes zero sense. Even with Grand Theft Auto, let's talk about Grand Theft Auto 4 to Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 4, you feel compelled and you actually feel emotionally invested into Nico. Not only Nico, but everyone else. They make sure that you go on a relationship with everyone around them. And you constantly have this back and forth relationship with so many characters that come into Nico's life, or Nico comes into their life, and you get to meet all of them. You meet all of them and you get emotionally invested. So when they die, you feel a certain way, and you know most of the memorable characters because that's what they're memorable. As opposed to GTA 5, look at the contrast between GTA 4 and GTA 5. GTA 5, honestly speaking, the characters are so one-dimensional compared to GTA 4 and GTA San Andreas. The characters are so one-dimensional and bland, and the fact that no one is really calling this out is beyond me. But Nico was a three-dimensional character. He had character, he had soul, he had heart. Grand Theft Auto 5, there was way too many characters in the video game. 3 characters isn't really that much enough to be invested into a character. Like, I played and supposedly finished GTA 5, and can I be honest with you, after finishing that game, I never really felt whatsoever. I didn't even feel emotionally compelled to really, when it came to killing Michael or Trevor. I just decided to kill, I think it was I think it was Devin West, and it's like, I never really felt emotionally connected to GTA 5. The story was cool, but there was so much going on and there wasn't really that much detail to the game. It had a huge blown up story, but there wasn't much detail. And that's the issue with gaming. You don't feel good playing games anymore. Yeah, sure, even Kratos, they did the same thing with Kratos, but Kratos is old now, he's a father. But then again, it's just, for me, I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but for me personally, and even with Need for Speed doesn't feel like a cool game anymore. It just feels like a car game. Bland storylines, using showroom cars in a video game that's supposed to be about street racing. That's another video coming up soon. Yeah, there's just no effort anymore in I feel like in video game development. There's very little effort on the developer side because they've been making money and coasting off of the fame of older video games for years, and that's the crazy part. But I think I've made my statement, and it's like I feel like gaming has changed too much to a point of where there is really no return. It's even the same case with Midnight Club. I don't feel cool playing games as much as I used to. Just that wow factor and that spark, I feel, is long gone. Making bland games, microtransactions, very boring storylines, and yeah, I think that's pretty much sums up my point. But anyway, guys, this is the Chilly Man signing off. I thank you so much for watching. Peace out.